Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Kavi. Today, we're going to unlock the genius behind one of the most disruptive companies of our time, and we're going to do it by looking at its blueprint, the Airbnb Business Model Canvas. I mean, seriously, how do you turn an air mattress in a living room into a global empire? It sounds like the setup for a joke, right? But it's actually the real-life origin story of one of the most iconic companies of the 21st century. So, to really get how Airbnb pulled this off, we have to unpack its brilliant business model. And we'll start right where it all began. Yeah, this thing didn't start in some fancy boardroom. Nope. It started in a San Francisco living room. Back in August of 2008, you had two designers, Brian Chesky and Joe Gebbia, and they just needed to make rent. So what did they do? They inflated some air mattresses, and along with engineer Nathan Blatcherchek, they created airbedandbreakfast.com. But the real turning point, the catalyst, was when they got accepted into the super prestigious Y Combinator in 2009. That moment basically lit the fuse, and it transformed this little cash-dropped idea into the global force we see today. Okay, now here's where it gets really fascinating. Think about this. Airbnb is one of the biggest accommodation providers on the planet, but it doesn't own a single room. Not one. That's the sheer power of its platform business model. See, they're not in the real estate business at all. They're in the connection business. It's like they built this amazing stage, and the community, that's us, provides all the actors and the props. And we can get even more specific with this model, because at its very heart, what Airbnb truly mastered was the art of the two-sided marketplace. And you have to remember, for the travel industry back then, this was a totally revolutionary idea. So what does that even mean? Well, it means you have two totally separate but completely codependent groups of customers. On one side, you've got people with extra space to share. We call them the hosts. And on the other side, you have people looking for a unique place to stay, the guests. The real magic, the trick to making it all work, is that the platform has to be unbelievably valuable to both of those groups at the exact same time. And this is where you see that dual value proposition in action. For hosts, it's a chance to make money from an asset that was just sitting there, right? Their extra space, and they can showcase it to a global audience. It's really a tool for economic empowerment. But for guests, it's all about finding these authentic, one-of-a-kind travel experiences. You could stay in a castle for a week or a tiny city apartment for a night, all at pretty much any price point. It's about that feeling of being able to belong anywhere. Okay, so the value for both sides is super clear. But what are the key activities that actually make this whole engine run? I mean, how does Airbnb pull this off day in and day out on a massive global scale? Well, this engine really runs on three key things. First, the technology infrastructure itself. The platform has to be seamless and work perfectly. Second, and honestly, this is the secret sauce, is community management. This is all about fostering safety and growth and really treating their hosts not just as users, but as true strategic partners. And third, of course, is marketing. That's the fuel that gets new people onto the platform, whether it's through digital ads or just good old-fashioned word of mouth. Let's just double-click on that first point for a second. The platform isn't just a website or an app. It's the entire infrastructure that the whole business is built on. It handles everything: the listings, the search function, the bookings, the payments, all the communication. It is, without a doubt, the single most important asset this company has. But look, great technology alone isn't enough to convince a stranger to sleep in another stranger's home. It just isn't. Co-founder Joe Gebbia really hit on the secret ingredient here when he said, Airbnb is all about changing how people trust each other. Seriously, without that trust, the entire model just completely falls apart. And this is what we call the trust economy in action. It's the absolute foundation of their customer relationships. What's amazing is that Airbnb figured out how to pioneer this at scale in the real physical world. They did it with things like verified profiles, secure payment systems, and, this is crucial, two-way reviews. They literally designed a system where total strangers could feel safe enough to do business with each other. So what this tells us is that Airbnb's most important resources, they're not physical things at all. Their real power lies in their digital platform, their massive global community of users, the trusted brand name they've built over the years, and the world-class customer service that backs it all up. These intangibles, that's their real fortress. And the result of building this fortress of trust, it's just breathtaking scale. The platform operates in more than 192 countries. And you can find an Airbnb in over 33,000 cities. This isn't just some big business anymore. It's a truly global phenomenon, and it's all powered by the network that it created. You see, this incredible growth creates this powerful, self-reinforcing cycle. It might start small, but as more and more users join, the value of the platform for everybody just explodes. This phenomenon has a name. It's called network effects. Here's how it works. The more guests who use Airbnb, the more attractive it is for hosts to list their places. And the more hosts who list their places, the more choices the guests have, which, you guessed it, attracts even more guests. It's a powerful flywheel. And once that thing gets spinning, it creates this huge economic moat that is incredibly difficult for any competitor to cross. And that flywheel gets supercharged by their asset-light model. See, unlike a Hilton or a Marriott, Airbnb doesn't spend billions of dollars buying and building property. This completely rewires their cost structure. Their big costs aren't in real estate, they're in platform development, marketing, and customer support. And those costs don't really grow at the same speed as the number of rooms on the platform. That's the secret to their amazing profitability and scalability. So how do they actually make money from all this? Well, their revenue streams are beautifully simple. Airbnb just acts as the trusted middleman. They take a service fee, basically a small commission, from both the host and the guest on every single booking that happens on their platform. So, when you put it all together, the asset-light model, those powerful network effects, and a simple, repeatable way to make money, what you get is a business that is just built for global scalability. It's a model that can grow almost infinitely without the costs getting out of control. And that really brings us to the key takeaway here. Airbnb's sustainable competitive advantage was never just about having more listings than the next guy. Look, anyone can build a website. Their real, defensible moat is that global network of trust. They own the relationships and the reputation system that connects millions of users. And that is something that is incredibly hard to replicate. So, that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. Airbnb used technology to build a whole new model of trust for the physical world. As our technology keeps evolving at this crazy pace, it really makes you wonder, what's the next big frontier for building trust between strangers?